Welcome to the Community Difference Rockwall, powered by the Difference Media LLC, and hosted by Tammy Escobedo, a beauty industry leader, and also sponsored by Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press of Rockwall, Josh and Kristen Small with WeatherTech General Contractors, Brian Decker with Compass Facilities Consulting, and by Clarence Jorif with the Compound Nevada. The Community Difference Rockwall was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Rockwall starts now.
Well, welcome on this beautiful Wednesday to our Community Difference Rockwall. We are a podcast that is firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I am Tammy Escobedo. I am a proud beauty industry leader and business coach with a passion to help others look and feel their best, believing that confidence on the outside leads to confidence on the inside. And I am really, truly honored to have the opportunity to empower women to create sustainable work-from-home businesses while also helping them cultivate a lifestyle rooted in confidence and self-assurance. And I am so excited to be here with you today. You have no idea how excited I am to be here with you today. So today we have a really exciting show lined up as we begin a new topic for November: behavioral branding, building brands through actions and culture, a theme that we will all dive into in our third segment. But first, as always, I want to introduce to you our amazing co-hosts and our incredible guests for today. Our first co-host that I want to introduce is Frank McLeod. I am delighted to tell you all about Frank. He is the owner of Minuteman Press of Rockwall, a full-service printing and graphic design company known for its exceptional quality and personalized service. Frank leads a talented team dedicated to providing top-notch printing solutions, ensuring that every project is handled with precision and professionalism. A proud 1985 graduate of Rockwall High School, Frank has deep roots in our community and brings both expertise and a personal touch to his business. Frank, we are very excited and thrilled to have you here today. Why don't you share with me one thing you absolutely love about our Rockwall community?
I love everything about Rockwall except for the traffic.
Oh my gosh, right?
It's a big town with a hometown feel. And it's still a lot like it was when I first moved out to Rockwall back in the early 80s.
Yes. Well, awesome. Well, I'm glad to know you, and I'm glad to have you here today. So you have so much to share. Excited. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Our second co-host today, Clarence Jorif. We love Clarence. Clarence, if you know him, you can't help but love him. Most of us call him CJ. He is the owner and operator of the Compound Nevada, a premier outdoor shooting range dedicated to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for firearm enthusiasts of all levels. With 16 pistol lanes, 10 rifle lanes, and a versatile 50-yard outdoor shooting area, the Compound Nevada offers a top-notch experience for beginners and advanced shooters alike. CJ and his certified team provide a wide range of training courses from basic firearm safety to advanced instruction in handgun, rifle, and shotgun use. CJ, welcome. What are you most excited about as we kick off today's show?
Rockwall. Rockwall is awesome.
Yes.
Kind of like Gilligan's Island. I was able to escape LA. We found the Shangri-La of Rockwall, got here as quickly as we could, and you're stuck with me now because I'm not leaving.
Well, we're not letting you go because I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being a part of our show. I'm so excited to have you here. And just popped in a little comment from Harvey Leisure, who is our wonderful co-host in our Wiley show. So, hey, Harvey, Glad to have you here. Now let's introduce our guests. I'm so excited to introduce to you Judge Mark Russo. He is an esteemed public servant with a long-standing commitment to both his community and the state of Texas. He was born in Louisville, Ohio. Mark's early background in restaurant management and broadcasting took a turn toward public service after moving to Rockwall in 2004. He quickly became an active participant in local governance, from being a charter member of the Rockwall County Young Republicans to serving on the Rockwall City Council and as mayor pro tem. His judicial career is marked by impressive achievements, including being elected as Justice of the Peace for Precinct 3, where his court was recently designated a judicial center of excellence by the Texas Judicial Council, one of only 6 in Texas. A recognized leader and mentor, Judge Russo exemplifies dedication to accessible and individualized justice for Rockwall County residents. Welcome, Russo. Mark.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here today.
What are you so excited about being here today?
Look, there's no better place to be. We just had elections and the energy is high. And when we have a city that has history of the founding of the state, and we're a county of first, I mean, we just live in the smallest county in Texas, but the best anywhere.
I love it. I'm so excited. And, I'm a part of Leadership Rockwall, which I'm really excited about, and got to meet and spend some time with you in our last class. So that was super fun. All right. Now let's introduce our guest number 2, and we're going to meet all of our guests a little bit later. Carrie Shepard. Today, Carrie Shepard is here with us. He's a seasoned expert in accounting and finance with a remarkable journey from banking to entrepreneurship. Carrie's career began in the banking sector, where he was inspired by the entrepreneurs he worked with, eventually leading him to establish his own consulting business. He holds both an undergraduate degree in business with a focus on international business and Russian, as well as a master's degree from Utah State University, where he was also a dedicated athlete in football and track and field. In 2016, he founded Shepard Bookkeeping and Consulting, offering a range of services from bookkeeping to outsourced CFO roles. And he recently played a key role in the successful acquisition of a marketing agency he worked with. Carrie is also a devoted family man, married to his beautiful wife, Jill, for 15 years, and the proud father of 4 children. So, Carrie, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're glad you're here. What are you most excited about being here today?
I always tell people that I'm not your usual accountant. I enjoy spending time with people. And so that's what I'm most excited about, is just meeting new people and getting to know people.
Well, that's awesome. We do have about 1 minute before we're going to take a break. But Carrie, I would love to, I know when we were talking last night, I learned that you are what did we call it? A transplant, I think?
Yeah. So we're a transplant. Like CJ, we escaped Utah and made it down here right before the craziness of COVID. We moved down here on a Friday, and the following week everything shut down, and then everyone else came at that summer. But we're happy to be here. We love Rockwall and don't plan on going anywhere. We're gonna move into CJ's house soon. So,
and he loves himself some CJ, so it's a good thing.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to get ready to go to commercial. When we come back, we are going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Rockwall, and we are excited to share some exciting things that are happening right here in our community. So we'll see you in just a minute. Stay right here.
The Community Difference Rockwall is made possible by Tammy Escobedo, a beauty industry leader, Josh and Kristen Small with WeatherTech General Contractors, Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press of Rockwall, Brian Decker with Compass Facilities Consulting, and by Clarence Jorif with the Compound Nevada. The Community Difference Rockwall. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
What's up, Rockwall?
We always have some really exciting things going on in Rockwall, don't we? I just got back from a Professional Women's Alliance event this morning and wanted to share with everyone who's watching, if you are a businesswoman in our community, make sure you get connected. You do not have to be a member of the chamber to be a part of the PWA. However, if you are, that's even better. But get involved. It was our last event for this year. You know, we're kind of winding down a little bit, aren't we? And for the year, and we're going to pick back up come January. So one thing that I want to share real quick before I let everybody else share what's going on in their worlds. The Business Development Alliance is definitely a networking event that we have put together that really is the backbone to who we are here at the Community Difference. And so the Rockwall community is going to have our first BDA, or Business Development Alliance event, on Monday, November the 25th at 4:30 to 6:30 at Shenanigans. We are so very excited that Shenanigans has offered that facility for us to participate and introduce some new people and just get to know who the Community Difference is there while helping build strong businesses. So come on out on November the 25th, 4:30 to 6:30. And then I'm going to turn it over to CJ. What you got, CJ?
Who doesn't love Christmas? So our Kiwanis annual Christmas parade is scheduled for December 7th. It'll start at 9 a.m. The theme this year is your favorite Christmas movie. Now, I may or may not be dressed up as my favorite Christmas movie. It all depends on what my wife says. Ooh. Nonetheless, it starts at 9 a.m. You can register or just come out, stand by the side of the road, wave at us. Or if you want to go ahead and include a float, individual floats are $20. If it's a business type float, it's $50. You can go to the Kiwanis website, which you can find at rockwallkiwanis.org, and go ahead and register. It's always a fun time. I have been the biggest elf that you've ever seen, and a couple other things. So I try to make it interesting, but considering I'm running for mayor next year, I think I'm going to tone it down just a little bit.
But CJ, then it wouldn't be you. You know, that's really what our topic is about today, becoming your authentic self. And you're just so fun. You should just be you and have a great time with it.
I'm going to take that as permission to beware what you see coming down the street.
I thought you were going to dress up as Hans Gruber from Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie.
I was just fixing to say, is Die Hard your favorite Christmas movie? That's mine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, Mark. So you see, part of the problem, part of the solution. I love it. I love it.
I'm from the government, here to help.
That's amazing. All right, CJ, thank you for that information. Frank, tell us what you have coming up.
All right. CJ, if you're dressing up as an elf this year, I have to see a 6'8" elf. So let me know. I got to come check that out for sure.
Got to.
I am a member of the Downtown Rockwall Association, and they are putting on, once again, the Holiday Home Tour. It's 5 different historic homes here in Rockwall, all on the north side of town. And they're going to have it on Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th. And the tickets are available on the Downtown Rockwall's webpage. You can buy them online, or you can go into Bella's house on the square and buy the tickets for $30 a piece, cash or check only. And they'll have those there for you. And if you have any questions about that, my number is going to be posted. You can give me a call and I can answer any questions for you.
Nice.
And I also wanted to mention a new local business. I went to their ribbon cutting about a month ago. It's a new sports bar that has opened up in the Fate area. It's at 549 and Highway 66. It's called Dudley's. And if you hadn't been in there, you got to go in that place and check it out. And the 3 guys that own Dudley's have also, they're taking over the restaurant at Chandler's Landing, and they're going to be the ones providing food and drink at Chandler's. And it will be fantastic.
I am so excited to know that.
If you hadn't been in Dudley's, go in there and check it out.
I have been in Dudley's. They did an event with the chamber. It was so cool. And I was wondering who was taking over the new restaurant at the yacht club. So that's exciting.
Yep, it's the guys that own Dudley's. We went in there last weekend to watch a football game.
Yep.
Great experience.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That's good. What else you got? Anything else?
And that is really all I've got this week.
Oh, see, we're winding down, getting ready for the holidays. People are doing some family things. That's exciting. Okay, Mark, tell us what you have for us.
Well, Monday is Veterans Day, and thank you to every veteran for your service. And on that, the YMCA at 8 a.m. is having their salute to service. Our MC is going to be Clarence, and our keynote speaker will be Cass County Judge Travis Ransom. And basically, he'll be talking about how service never stops. Whether you served your country, your service to community still continues. And I think that's very important to remember.
I love that. So that's Monday, November the 11th.
November 11th at 8 a.m. at the YMCA.
Nice.
210 North Goliad.
I'm a veteran mom and daughter, so I love our veterans. I think I say that a lot, but I'm proud.
I don't think you can ever say thank you enough to anybody, right? And I think that's a big part. And then also with history, we've got some exciting news coming down the road. Rockwall and the Rockwall itself. So stay tuned. There's some great things happening in our community.
I love it. Thank you for that. It's amazing. I'm excited for the new things that are coming. All right, Carrie, what do you have for us?
So as CJ mentioned, with Christmas coming up, we got to remember the reason for the season. There's an outdoor live nativity that's put on every year. This year, it's going to be December 7th and 8th, 2-night event from 5 to 8. And it's going to be outdoor with live animals. And then indoor, there's going to be international nativities. So Christmas and nativities from around the world. You can come and have some hot chocolate, refreshments, and watch a presentation of the live nativity. The address is 6819 South on Farm to Market 549 in Heath. And so it's a great event that's put on every year. Lots of people come filter through, and it's just really fun. There's music and everything. So come and enjoy.
Jerry, how long have they been putting that on? It has to be 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I think every year it gets better. I mean, we've been a part of it for 4 years. We put out some of our display items, and every year it gets better and better.
The display items he's talking about is everything from all over the world. I've got some stuff from Panama, and with time spent over the seas in the Netherlands. And as you go by each one of these displays, it's like, oh, yeah, it jars memories, and it's really, really a cool situation. So, plus, hot chocolate inside. So there you go.
So my wife, she spent some time in Afghanistan on a tour while she was in the Army, and she brought some stuff home from Afghanistan. So there's all that type of interesting stuff from literally all over the world. And I have some stuff from Russia as well. So it's fun.
So it's definitely something you can bring your families to. And do you
Absolutely.
bring them to the park and bring a meal and picnic, or what?
Yeah. So you just park out back. Typically, I think the flow, how they do it is out behind the church. You watch the live nativity, and then you can walk inside to see the displays. And so it's the nativity itself. It's probably a 10-minute type presentation.
And the big thing about it, there's ample parking, so don't have to worry about parking. Ample parking is available, and just basically come on out to have a good time and meet your neighbors and enjoy the reason for the season.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I wanted to real quick just talk a little bit about the chamber. If you're not a member of the chamber, you might not get all of the notifications, but you do not have to be a member to attend some of the events that we do. We have a off the clock networking that's coming up on November the 13th. It's going to be November the 13th at 5 p.m. at Las Palmas Mexican Restaurant and Bar. And really, it's just a place. It's a time for all of us to get together, get to know each other. How many of you ever have attended a off the clock networking? Yeah. Tell us what you love about it, Mark.
You get to meet new people. Listen, whether you're an elected official or just someone in the community, if you don't have friends and you move in the area, it's always good to network. I think networking is the number one thing anyone can do, right? And why wouldn't you want to meet new people and learn about different people and their stories? And I think It's the people you're missing opportunities
Yes.
by not getting to know new people.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And what the people at the chamber do is invite them to these people that are thinking about joining the chamber. So if somebody moves to town, has a business here in Rockwall, they invite them to that as a free networking opportunity to try to get them to sign up for the chamber. So you've got brand new people coming into every one of those. I never go to an off the clock where I don't meet somebody new to Rockwall or a new business opening. It's a great place to meet new people.
And the big thing is just the interaction, the live interaction, because with everyone that you meet, it's always a welcome experience. And like you said, especially if you're new to the area, who knows? You can find someone that can provide a service that you need. You can provide a service that someone else needs. It's like it's a mano a mano. You give, you receive, and it's an awesome experience.
You know, I think CJ and Frank and even Mark Russo, I believe I have met at one of a chamber event initially. So there you go. And then the friendships that you build are amazing.
That's exactly
Another.
it. With like Jeremy Pence. Jeremy Pence is one of my good friends, and I met him through just networking at the event.
Yes. Very fun to do. Let me just tell you too, the week of Thanksgiving, we will be hosting the Community Difference. We'll be hosting our What Are We Thankful For show. So that's going to be excited. So make sure you tune into that the week of Thanksgiving and just hear from all of our hosts and co-hosts at the Community Difference and all the things that we are thankful for. So that's going to be a fun show too. So tune in there. All right, we're going to take a break unless anybody has something else to share in regard to an event that's coming up. And we're going to come back and dive right into our topic for the month, which is behavioral branding, building brands through actions and culture. So stay right here. Come right back. See you after the commercial.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
We are Cloud Staff, enabling remarkable growth for businesses everywhere with our pioneering enterprise-grade remote work solutions. We are on a mission to help business owners scale while reducing costs by matching you with an amazing staff, mobilizing your team, and helping manage business performance, making us the #1 workplace as remote work gets done. Connect with us to access the world's top talent and discover how we can enable remarkable growth for your business.
And now, back to the show.
So welcome to today's topic, behavioral branding, building brands through actions and culture. And really in this session, I really want to dive into how brand perception is shaped, not just by what we say, but really by our actions and values that we embody as professionals and as a company. So I always think, when I'm coaching other women in their businesses, I always think and try to teach them, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Anybody ever heard that?
Oh, yeah.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them. So today, I really just want to explore really the power of consistent behaviors in creating a trustworthy brand. So I really want to start with this question, really to each of you. We can start with, I don't know, who do we want to start with? Let's start with Mark. He's amazing.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to prove you wrong, but okay.
The question I really want to know first is, what is your definition of behavioral branding?
So I think it's always act like there's a TV on. I think the number one thing is always act that you're always being watched, because that's who you are, right? And I think what I always talk about, improper jokes. Whenever you have to look this way or that way to see who your audience is, that's not who you are. And I think that's not the way to act. And that's what I tell other judges across the state and what I tell other elected officials. If you have to look this way or that way and see who your audience is, you're probably not being authentic.
Yes, true. That's good. Carrie, tell us.
Let's see. So as I've been pondering this question, I think when it comes to behavioral branding, it's consistency over time, doing the same thing, even when the camera's not on, right? Some of the things I think about, especially as it comes to me trying to create my brand and what I'm trying to do for my clients, it's constantly caring for people in general, and always being on the lookout, and not just caring when people are watching you.
Right. I agree with that. What about you, Frank?
To me, what behavior branding is it's trying to figure out the customer's behavior, their ordering patterns, and making life easy on them to where you're the only person they think about calling. A good example of that, yesterday I was looking for a particular paper a client was wanting their job printed on. Called one paper supplier. Nope, we don't have it. I got it in Colorado if you want to pay UPS for it. I called the other paper supplier. No, I don't have that, but I do have this, and it'd be a good sub for it. So they gave me a reason to place an order with them, as they fixed my need.
Yes, that's right. And, you did that for me. I don't know if you remember that. I had something going on with a funeral in my family, and you helped me find the perfect paper and did all that. That's who you are. We know that. Okay, let's go with CJ.
Behavioral branding is, especially for my business, it boils down to being a safe and enjoyable environment that you can come and learn, show your flaws per se, but be an open book and know that you have a skilled expert that's going to impart to you exactly what you need to be able to learn the use of a firearm, be able to defend yourself, be able to defend your family. But the branding boils down to, you see what happens here at the business, but it's who you are and how you represent yourself when you're not in the business. I heard it said before, it's how you present yourself when people are looking and when they're not looking.
Yep.
Credibility that you bring to the table lasts you 24/7. You can't be one way, show one side, and then when 5 o'clock goes, you're bought in at all times. You have to have constant buy-in, and that's what people know you for.
Yes, that's right. I think about, I really try to think about strategic networking and what it is that we are doing to build relationships, right? Building long-term valuable relationships. My question might be, how do you determine which relationships are really truly worth investing in?
If you leave me up for that one, I'll jump in.
Jump.
Relationships are based on accountability. If I come to you, Tammy, and you deliver 24/7 every time I come to you, that's that situation where I'm going to jump to Frank. hey, Frank, I need. As soon as I talk to Frank, Frank will hook me up with Leah. Leah will give me a layout. She'll give me 5 different, and then I can pick and choose. And I guarantee you, never, ever, ever has been a time where it's like, what's this? Because their pride is in their work. They deliver for you. You turn around and represent that to your customers. As far as your advertising goes, that's money in the bank always. So it's the accountability factor on who you're dealing with.
Yes. I think about, Mark, I'm going to call you out.
Okay.
I'm in Leadership Rockwall, and we were at an event recently, and your work life and your personal life are 2 different things. And your involvement in the historic community and your passion for what you're doing, that's who you are. And you have such a passion for so many things that are really unrelated to your work, but things that you love so much. Tell us, just a little bit just about the value add that you have just in our community, and branding yourself and your behaviors. I don't know, for branding your business.
Well, I think that history and even what I do, I think it's about people. And if you enjoy people, and what I say in your friendships, and I even say what you do, be equally yoked. Be surrounding yourself with the people and type of businesses you want to do. Early on in my career, when I was just a busboy, I asked the dentist, I want to be successful like you. What do I do? I'm 15, 16 years old. And he said, surround yourself with the people you want to be like. Yes. And I say the businesses and the style, how you approach people, act that way. Know why you're in the community. Know what it's about, and be investing. And when you invest in others, others will invest in you. And I think that's why I've had elected service, success. But I think it's because no matter what I do, it's about people and others. And when you're unselfish about that, I think people recognize that, because if you're unselfish in your services and make other people better, they'll make you better as well.
Yes, I agree with that. I feel like when you build relationships with people, people get to know who you are. I think about maybe Carrie, I'm going to call you out a little bit. And that is, you work in accounting, CPA, numbers. Like, I would imagine there's times where something might get messed up or flubbed up. How you react to that really determines who you are and what that looks like to your customers.
Right. Especially, you really start to see true colors when things go a little sideways, maybe, or when there's a mistake that, when it can cost people money. And that's where, once again, I think staying true to yourself, if you're going to do something or react the way that you might regret, learning to handle that and be the person you want to be, even to your clients when it's a harder situation to handle.
Yeah, I would imagine you have some situations in your business where proactive problem solving could be key in the success of a situation.
Yeah, typically, especially in a scenario, my clients, they range from small businesses to much larger businesses. And especially in a large business, when there's so many moving parts, it's really good to be able to plan for the future, right? And be proactive. And so that's where a lot of financial planning comes into place. Not just personal financial planning, but in a business scenario, start planning for future cash flow shortages, or if someone gets sick or whatever happens, to have the pieces in place and being proactive about it, it can really make or break a business.
Yes. CJ, you have something you want to share?
Yeah. We're talking about business, but we're also talking about people. And Mark hit the nail on the head with what he does as a judge. But also, as myself, as an elected official, I'm accountable to the people of Rockwall. Who I am, what I do, how I act, how I interact with everyone at every time reflects on who I am and what I bring to the table. You can't act or talk one way and then react and deal with someone another way. It's even keel across the board. So when you establish that credibility, when you establish that honesty, when you establish that integrity, it's something that you deliver 24/7. The same thing carries over to our businesses. Same thing carries over to our interactions with family and friends. You are who you are, and people will see you for that way at all times. You were joking with me a few minutes ago, Tammy, about everyone loves CJ. Well, that's just what I bring to the table. That's what I bring to the table. Now, in a law enforcement attitude or environment, I'll treat you with common courtesy and respect, but then there's a line that we're going to have to deal with it in another manner. But
Yeah.
Mark has the same thing, because a lot of the folks that he deals with on a daily basis, yeah, sometimes people make mistakes, but at the same time, I know, having seen him in action and just how he interacts with all of us, he's kind Mark. He's not holding anything against anyone, but you have to deal with the facts as they are. So that's another reason why I love my little brother.
Well, something I think about a lot too is lifelong learning. How many of us have to keep up with certifications, or how many of us need to, I know in my industry, I really have to keep up with trends. I have to keep up with ingredients. I have to keep up with what are people looking for in regard to a product, right? And so I think about really, how do you stay updated with the latest trends in your industry? Frank, you probably have some of that with maybe equipment, machinery, what people are looking for. I don't know, Mark.
Well, how do I keep up? Well, I mean, I have a lot. I have about 20 hours of continuing education, but my job, I have more than just being a judge. It also is I'm the coroner for the county, and then I serve on different boards and commissions with the historic. So I have to know what's going on, and I talk to more people. And the trick is, you when you're at the grocery store, you time management and how you talk to people is really key. And so when I'm doing my different hats, the number one thing to do is go, okay, here's what I do. I need to follow through. But then I ask, what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? And I go, what can we do better? And sometimes other input from people, even when I'm on the bench or whatever, I go, hey, what can we do better? How can I improve? And people go, no, nothing. Or there's something, hey, have you heard about this new product? And when I visit other competitors, and when I mean competitor for me, other elected officials, and I visit their offices, they might have a new screen or a way to communicate a message better than I thought of. And I'll take that back to my court and implement that to make it better. We should always be giving our best.
Always giving our best. Lyndon is our producer. He's amazing. He's jumping in right here. I love seeing your face.
Well, thank you. I love seeing yours too. We had a show this morning. We talked about one of the things Tammy just brought up, and that's lifelong learning. And so when we're thinking about behavioral branding, what is a brand for? It's two things. One is to let people become confident in understanding how the interaction and the customer experience is going to be. Not the customer experience necessarily, but even the business to business relationship experience, right? So when we talk about behavioral branding and lifelong learning, we have to remind ourselves that our brand is an attractant. It's a magnet, right? So when you think about lifelong learning, I want people to know I'm a lifelong learner,
Yes.
right? I don't need them to pat me on the back that, oh my God, you read 100 books. No,
Yeah.
I want them to know that because I am committed to growth and development, I can be a resource, right? I want them to believe that, hey, if I've got an issue or if I partner with this guy, he's going to help find the answers we need to find the success we're trying to find within this partnership. That's what we're thinking about when we think about behavioral branding. A lot of us just so natural when we're talking about our customers, right? When we're talking about that invoice at the end, right? That we're all gonna put on our Sunday best when we're talking about that, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we have to do. But it's sometimes, and we've all talked about networking today, that we forget about our behavioral brand when we're within our networking groups, when we're in our circle of influence, and we kind of relax and we forget about it. We should be on our A game of impression every day. And so when you talk about lifelong learning, I'm not going to go out there and tell Mark or tell Carrie, hey man, I read a new book this week.
Yeah.
I'm smarter this week than I was last week. That's why you should do business with me. But I want to be able to be informed so that if they have a questions, I can be of service to them, right?
Yes.
And if I don't know it, if you're a lifelong learner, the greatest thing about a lifelong learner is they still don't know everything, but they have a mentality to figure it out, to go find it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you do that. This is one last thing, and then I'll let it go. We talked this morning about behavioral branding being associated and surrounded in our own core values, and how our core values resonate and attract other people. And that lifelong learning and all the different behavioral brands is going to attract the type of people that appreciate who you are as a person.
Yes.
And that's going to make life so much easier when our behavioral brand is on its A game. And people look and go, hey, when we got something going on, they're going to come prepared. They're going to come ready. I don't have to worry about Mark or Clarence or Carrie or Frank or Tammy. When the lights go on, when the game starts, whatever it is, they're ready, and we're ready to go to battle, and we're ready to accomplish what we all committed and agreed to each other that we were going to do. We're going to deliver. So,
and handle any situation. I like it.
Absolutely.
That's good. I think about goal setting and how that relates too. I'd love to hear your takeaways on really kind of what strategies do you use to set and track your goals? I always tell my business owners that I work with every day, if you don't have a goal and you're just really doing nothing to move forward, you're really just falling backwards, right? So I look at the screen and I think every one of you I see out in the community staying busy. It's the busy people who are branding themselves. It's the busy people who are moving forward. So what really are you doing to set and track any kind of goals so that others can see that growth and that you are growing? Who wants to go first on that? I think we should go with Carrie.
Yeah, I was just thinking how best to put in my thoughts into words, because, I read a book a couple years ago called Measure What Matters Most, and when it comes to goals and goal setting, if you measure something and track it, then it's going to improve, right? And so a lot of people, they'll constantly watch their bank account, and if they measure it each month, they know the cogs that are going to make it go up and down. And so if they're measuring it every month, it's hopefully going to go up. Well, it's the same thing in goal setting. If it's something that you can track, then typically you'll add more attention to it to make the improvements that you need. I have a lot of friends that like to go to the gym, and they're constantly trying to max out their different lifts, and that's something that's easy to track. If they can get their personal best to go up by 10 pounds in a month, they're going to track it, but they're also going to start looking at the little things underneath it that are going to take it to that next level. It's the same thing in all areas of life, whether it's business, personal life, spiritual life, or personal life.
Yeah, it kind of brings me to the question of really how do you ensure that you are adding value to your relationships, maybe with your customers and with any strategic partners. Like, we don't want to be selling ourselves all the time, but we want to be a value add. What does that look like for you?
For me, it's, it's being there, and having a relevant opinion that's when it comes to a topic. And, so for me, I have clients that they're in the car industry, they're in the marketing industry. And when I first started in the marketing industry, I didn't have a clue about it, but very quickly I had to learn and adapt to understanding the industry so that I could provide valuable insights.
Awesome. We have 1 more minute. I'm going to ask Frank a question, and that is really, can you share a time when taking ownership really helped resolve a situation for you? And you get 30 seconds.
Yeah, I've had orders that big orders blow up, and when it first happens, you think, how in the heck am I going to fix this and get out of this? But you've just got to push through it and make sure the customer, you can't have a dissatisfied customer. I have very, very, very few dissatisfied customers.
And that is true. And that's why I picked you to answer that question. I know that things have happened. None of us are perfect. There was one perfect person, and he's died on the cross. So there you go.
And if you have to, if something has to be redone and you're not going to make money on the job, whatever, you've got to make sure the customer's taken care of and they're satisfied with what service you provided for them.
I love it. All right. Thank you for all that information. We're going to go to commercial, and we're going to come back to our next segment. Stay right here.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
I think this might be one of my favorite segments, deep dive into our guests that are participating with us today. CJ, I'm going to let you go first. Ready?
Nice. All righty then. So, I'm going to go ahead and send this one to Carrie. So, if there was one thing you could change about Rockwall, what would it be and why?
Oh, maybe 2 lanes on the 205 Goliad up north by our neighborhood.
You know, that's an interesting question to the person who's only lived here for 4 years.
No, the thing about it is, and I sent that one out there because I get that so often as an elected official. Oh, traffic. We get it. But a lot of what happens here within the city is dictated by TxDOT. And although we work with them, it's their timeline, not ours. So since you weaseled out of that one, let me try this one. What is your vision for business development in Rockwall?
My vision for business development, in terms of me personally,
Your business. What could you do to make
my
your
business
better?
What would make my business better? So, for me, one of the things I love is just being able to help people. I often say, and I probably shouldn't say this too loud, but I guess potentially there's a lot of people that are going to hear this, is if I didn't need to make money, I'd do what I do for free just because it's what I know and how I can help people. Just being able to talk to people, it fills my bucket. I mentioned earlier, I'm not your usual accountant that likes to hide behind my screen all day. Now, don't get me wrong, I have those days where I like to be behind a spreadsheet, but I usually like to be out and about with people and hanging out. That's fun for me, and helping people. Just it creates that relationship, and it makes the world go round.
Yeah, that's awesome. Carrie, I can't wait to get to know you more. We've just talked on the phone. I haven't met you in person, but I'm excited to do that. Coming from somebody who's been here for 4 years building your business, your behavioral brand is so very important too. We talked about that a little bit last night when you and I were on the phone, but
yeah,
I'm excited to get to know you more. Yeah. All
Likewise.
right, Frank, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
I got a question for Mark Russo.
Okay.
You mentioned you are the coroner for Rockwall.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the part of your job you like the least? And do you have any coroner story you can share with us?
Sure. So no, that's probably the one that I feel that I do the best at, because dealing with people at their worst moment, you have to be a special kind of person. And I get to pray with the family, I get to work with them, but I am making a person's worst moment in their life. I'm not going to make it better, but I can make it where it's palatable.
You can make it not as bad.
And so to see that and having people that just lost their loved one and they don't know where to go, or they lost them through a veteran or whatever, that moment of how I treat them, losing their parent, their father, whatever it is, being that arm makes a difference. So I think it's honestly the most rewarding part of my job.
I've known you for 20 years, probably. I can't imagine anybody that would be better.
Thank you.
At doing that than you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
You've got the personality for it. You're the same every time.
It's about people, though. And what I would tell you, it's about toxic relationships versus not. When you're healthy and you reach out to others, you can make difference in others. And I have found that when I got healthy, because again, I moved out when I was 14 years old, and I had a chip on my shoulder. And I realized I kept getting in these positions where I couldn't understand why I couldn't get growth, or why wasn't I. It was my attitude. And your attitude really defines your altitude. And when I realized that I gave my love and I wanted to know about others unselfishly, and when I said it's not about me, it's about you, things got better. And I realized that my health internally, my personal well-being got better. And so it really is knowing that I'm here to serve. And when you have a servant relationship, I think that's what makes a difference.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good. I love it so much. Okay, I have a question for CJ. What are the biggest challenges and rewards that you've encountered as a local business owner?
Sometimes clients come in with, I guess I could say, unrealistic expectations, but they don't bring to the table their part of the deal. And when I enforce my side of it, it's like, what do you mean? You mean I can't point my gun at myself like this? No. Trust me, I hear chuckle in the background. You probably experienced this too, being here with me sometimes, Carrie. It's all about accountability. I'm accountable for myself, my business, but for everybody that walks through that door. If you don't bring your little suitcase with your accountability and openness and receptiveness to do what's right, there's a problem. 9 times out of 10, that problem could lead to a safety issue. And if it's not safe, you can't do it here. One instance that comes to mind is I was on the pistol range with about 8 women, and the women that come out here to shoot, part of my trigger tribe, they're awesome. They're awesome. I catch grief from their husbands because now they can put rounds, point of aim, point of impact. And it's like, what are you teaching her? I'm like, okay, if you got a problem with that, just hide behind her and she'll take care of everything that's going on. So this individual decided to take their front sight and rear sight off a rifle and shoot the rifle downrange. You have no point of reference. That's not safe. So my RSO was caught off, range safety officer was caught off guard. So I go there and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, who are you? I'm the owner. Oh, well, I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. And he starts giving me what for. And it's like, okay. It's one of those situations where you're professional, but there's the line that we talked about before. It's time to pack up your stuff and leave, because if you can't receive the input that what you're doing is unsafe to you and possibly those around you, this is not the place to be. So that's that accountability. That's that reliability. That's that imparting knowledge to others that you are the subject matter expert. You really, really are. Each one of us for what we do. Granted, we can always learn to do things better, but that pressure sits on your shoulders to do it the right way. So
nice.
There you go.
I knew you'd take us to a good place. Okay, Mark, I'm going to ask you another question.
Okay.
And that is, what do you love most about being part of this Rockwall community?
Oh my gosh. Well, I belong to 68 boards and committees. So I don't, again, when I say about, I think it's our community. I think everyone feels like we're family, right? I've been here for 20 years, but also what I love about it is the rich history. We have veterans from the War of 1812 buried. We have people that were directly impacted in the founding of the state, and they're located right here. And I think that when you can touch that kind of history of having the first highway coming through the state, coming right through Rockwall, and when you think about, this is the crazy thing when we talk politics, you realize in 100 years, we're one of the only regions that had only 4 congressmen in 100 years representing our area. That means stability. That means that we foster trust. And I think when you talk about stability in government, that says a lot to us. And I think that's really cool that you can go back all the way to Sam Rayburn in our history of our nation right here in this area. And I think that's just insane, the opportunities that we have here.
I love that. I love hearing you talk. You're so passionate about all the things.
It's just who I am.
CJ.
That's why he's my little brother. You can see the resemblance.
Exactly. And I'm taller.
There you go.
I'm trying to make Rockwall short again.
So CJ, go ahead. You see.
So something that came up in a conversation was it regards self-awareness. Self-awareness applies along the spectrum of everything that we do in life. But that self-awareness, when it comes to dealing with your customer, sometimes you're reading minds. And if you're not reading minds, you're asking the relevant questions to help your customer give you the information that you need to make them successful. I have worked very, very closely with Kerry, and the guy is meticulous. He makes me feel bad because it's like, okay, what do you need? Well, here and here, and see, look at him smiling, and here and here, and it just makes it so easy to communicate to him. I have that constant comfort factor of it's done right. Well, the same thing that most of you know with me, I'm the big old teddy bear, but I'm also the grizzly bear if I have to. I'm protective in nature, but I'm always going to give you my 100%. no matter what it is, 110%, 150%, because I'm aware of what I need to do to safeguard myself, but at the same time to safeguard others, whether it's in a law enforcement environment or you're walking through our door right here that want to come in and, hey, I've never held a firearm before, I want to learn. I do what it's called, I take you through the stages of infancy. I'll teach you how to crawl, how to toddle, how to walk, and how to run. Sometimes people are like, what does that mean? It's one of those stages of steps. Every step that you achieve or you're confronted with, you then learn it and you're able to do it better. I love what I do. I love what I've done for the last, don't mind the gray hair, nearly 40 years, but it's about keeping people safe. That's it.
So CJ, let me follow that up real quick, because what I was talking about when I listened to you talk about the guy that told you he knew what he was doing as you were trying to help him and coach him. So my point on that was he was not allowing himself to be self-aware of what he didn't know. Therefore, he couldn't be accountable or coached in the manner that was going to be advantageous to him. So when you take that, I mean, that's what I'm trying to help people understand in our business to business relationships. If we're not self-aware when someone comes and wants to partner with us, then we become more of an obstacle to growth and development. And they're going to kind of back away and probably go find somebody else that they can work with, that they can have those conversations and be that accountability partner. Somebody mentioned working out earlier, because it's kind of like having the buddy system, right? So you're going to keep me in line. I'm going to keep you in line. We're going to stay focused on the goal, because every day we may not feel like the battle, but we're going to remind each other what our commitment was and what our direction is. And that's where you build your friendships, right? That's really where the relationship develops.
Yeah.
So that situation there, and I mentioned it before, my answer, it was being aware of what the customer needs or should be asking you, but at the same time asking them questions so that they can clarify, so that you're providing what they need in the format that they do need it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we're going to have to go to commercial. It's time. But we're going to come back for our last segment in just a minute on what's the difference. So stay tuned. Thank y'all for watching and staying with us. We'll be right back.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
I love putting you guys on the spot. So here we go. I see that smile. Saw it out of Mark. Here's the question. So you need to know that we came up with an official answer, okay, that we're going to share in a minute. But here's the question. Want to hear a response from everybody. What's the difference between proactive problem solving and reactive problem management? Let's start with Mark.
Well, first off, if you're being proactive, then you don't have to worry about reactive. But what I'm going to tell you is, I always ask people, what can I do better? What do I do? And I really think in life, being prepared like a Boy Scout is better than doing the cleanup management. Because if you're coming from behind and like integrity, if you lose that and you have to work out of it and you have to give up more product, it's counterintuitive, right? If I just do what I need to do the right way the first time, I don't have to spend more money or do more damage control. I'm spending more money fixing what I could have just done the right way the first time. So I think, if you're outlining exactly what you're expecting or what the outcome, and even when I'm on a bench, I try to explain what the process is and what we're doing. And so that way I don't have to go back and go, oh, I forgot to tell you, or I didn't know I wasn't going to get it. No, here's what you're getting. Be clear, concise, and just honest about it. And you'll have less problems cleaning up that mess.
Awesome. So good. All right, Carrie, you're on.
So proactive problem solving and reactive problem management. The first thing that comes to mind as I hear reactive problem management is that just sounds like a stressful situation and it creates anxiety, right? And of course, none of us want to be in that situation. So I think when it comes to proactive problem solving, it's having a process in place and knowing what could be coming up and what could happen. So if there's small deviations, it's easier to attack that solution and figure it out versus being completely caught off guard of something that comes up.
I like it. So good. CJ.
So unfortunately,
I love your smile.
Hopefully it's something in our background. I play the game in my mind before I play the game. What do you mean by that? So as the retired Secret Service guy, any location, venue, activity, I've already thought about the good, the bad, the ugly. How do we get out of here? And even Carrie, we spend quite a bit of time together. It's like, how did you think about that? I'm already 5 steps ahead so that I don't have to go into that risk management after the fact, because that means you've really had a bad day. Things have gone really, really bad, as you saw. And now I have to dig myself out of it. There's no digging out. It's a matter of planning, pre-planning, executing, seeing something happen or about to happen, and taking the necessary steps. So that comes back to that same question we talked about before, and Lyndon was asking me about the self-awareness. With that individual, I'd already played out in my mind all the bad things that could have happened, and then shut it down and didn't let it go any further. So it's preparation, 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 so that when things do arise, you already have a solution for it, and you can minimize or mitigate the worst case scenario.
Yeah. I feel like, too, you're talking a little bit about in our professional life and in our personal life.
Oh, yeah, always.
Always, yep. All right, Frank, what's your answer? Proactive problem solving versus
to hit on what CJ was just saying. I've watched CJ. I've known him for a pretty long time now. Any of us, we pull into a parking spot at Walmart, get out and walk right in the door. Not CJ. CJ sits in his car for about 5 minutes and scans the everything going on in the parking lot before he gets out of his car. Yeah. And I've watched him do it over and over. It wasn't a one-time deal. He does it every time he gets out of a vehicle.
Yeah.
But proactive to me is making sure there's not going to be a problem before there is a problem. Reactive is trying to fix the problem. And we deal with that every day in our world. That's why we always put a proof for a customer to look at, make sure it's exactly what they want before we run the whole job. It's making sure there's not a problem before one arises.
Yes, I like it. Okay, I'm going to give you our official answer. Proactive problem solving means anticipating challenges and taking action to prevent them before they occur, while reactive problem management involves addressing issues only after they have arisen. Proactive leaders build trust by demonstrating foresight and a capacity to avoid crises, whereas reactive leaders may come across as unprepared or inefficient in handling a situation. I was thinking when CJ was talking about how many times have you ever been into a restaurant and you watch the families? I don't know. I think it's more in Rockwall than anywhere else, but you watch in the families. Our family is one of them. I live with 2 first responders, and they're looking at the doors. They know who's in the place, and they can never put their back towards the door. They have to have their back at the back of the wall so they know what's going on in front of them. But I think it's definitely...
You're describing CJ.
Yes, that's what my husband does too. So it's fun, but yeah, being reactive and being prepared. So, or being proactive and being prepared. I love that. All right, we only have a couple of more minutes, and I want to do some final thoughts. I first want to thank our guests that are here, and I want to spend just a minute. Give us your closing thoughts, Mark and Carrie. Let us know how we can reach you. If there's anything anybody that's watching the show would like to reach out to you, how do they do that?
Well, you can't talk to me about legal things, but if you just wanted to talk, I guess, you can always call 214-793-2923. And really just always being approachable. You can find me anywhere in Rockwall, and I'll talk to you. So
yeah, you will.
Just say hello, and I'll say hello back.
And definitely anything you want to know about the historic community here in Rockwall, call Mark. He loves to have that conversation with people. Yeah.
Yeah. My wife wished I would be a little bit more quiet when I go to the grocery store. She never sends me to the grocery store now. She's like, can you pick up one item? And it's 2 hours later.
Yeah, right. I understand. All right, Carrie, tell us how we can reach you. Tell us your final thoughts.
Yeah, usually call or text. My cell phone is 801-336-7521. Or you can email me at my name, carrie.m.shepherd@gmail.com. And pretty responsive on all of them, but mostly text or call. You'll get a hold of me quickest.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Guys, you guests, you're amazing. Thank you for being here. Clarence, CJ, tell us how we can reach you if somebody wants to reach out.
So it all depends. The biggest thing here is the Compound Nevada. It's the tagline's right there. You can call directly, 972-853-0602, 972-853-0602, or send us an email at info@tcatrc.com. As a public servant, call me. I will come. There's not a situation I won't talk about because as your Mayor Pro Tem of Rockwall, I am responsive to each and every one of you, no matter what it is, just like Mark.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for that, CJ. Frank.
You can catch me at 469-769-1600, or you can email me at rockwall@minutemanpress.com, and we are fast to respond to email.
Awesome. And I'm Tammy Escobedo, your host today. Thank you all for being here. You can reach me at tammyescobedo.com. And I'm so excited about this topic for the month. Next week, we will have our 2 new hosts, co-hosts that you haven't met yet. So we're going to have a great, wonderful show next week. So tune in next week as we continue our topic on behavioral branding. And thank you for joining us today. See you next week.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Rockwall was made possible by Tammy Escobedo, a beauty industry leader, Josh and Kristen Small with WeatherTech General Contractors, Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press of Rockwall, Brian Decker with Compass Facilities Consulting, and by Clarence Jorif with the Compound Nevada. The Community Difference Rockwall. Together, we can make the difference.